French, British, Polish, Slovenian, and Estonian troops converged on Estonia on October 18, 2025 for exercise BOLD PANZER, a live, force-on-force drill designed to test how quickly NATO can turn standing plans into coordinated action on its northeastern flank. The scenario placed a Franco-British maneuver element under pressure from a robust opposition force composed of Polish and Slovenian troops, a red team built to disrupt, deceive, and expose weaknesses in command, control, and sustainment. Rather than a showcase of hardware, the day's work focused on tempo, compressing decision cycles, trimming friction at handover points, and validating procedures that convert multinational intent into synchronized movement under realistic constraints. The Allied formation paired complementary strengths. France deployed the VBMR Griffon 6x6 from its Scorpion family, not only for protected mobility but for its role as a digital node. The vehicle's integrated Vitronics and remotely operated weapon station permitted sensor-to-shooter workflows and common situational awareness across dispersed elements, with STANAG 4569 Level 4 protection providing a survivable baseline. The United Kingdom contributed Warrior infantry fighting vehicles that offered tracked mobility, section lift, and a stabilized 30mm cannon, giving platoon leaders a straightforward tool for immediate direct fire support. Where armor would be at risk or mobility restricted, British teams employed the NLAW, a shoulder-launched anti-tank weapon whose predicted line-of-sight guidance and overfly top attack profile is well suited to Estonia's mix of woodland, wetlands, and built-up areas. The choreography emphasized interoperability in practice rather than in policy. Platoons rehearsed cross-decking personnel and critical stores between wheeled Griffons and tracked Warriors to validate common drills for casualty evacuation, ammunition resupply, and maintenance triage. Fire teams rotated through roles to ensure that, should an attached capability be lost, others could assume its function without waiting for national replacements. Communications plans were deliberately stressed. Nets were loaded with realistic message traffic, failover paths were exercised, and common brevity and reporting formats were enforced so that the battlegroup headquarters received usable information instead of raw noise. The practical outcome was unglamorous yet decisive: cleaner handoffs, fewer delays, and a clearer picture of the fight from platoon to battlegroup. The opposition force served a purpose beyond simple targetry. Polish and Slovenian units were given latitude to vary tactics, to strike logistics nodes, to spoof electromagnetic signatures, and to introduce friction at times and places of their choosing. That freedom forced the Allied side to demonstrate resilience in the dullest, most important sense, maintaining pace when things go wrong. When simulated route denial forced a rapid retasking of the Griffon elements, Warrior sections shifted to cover gaps and NLAW teams displaced to new ambush lines without waiting for a clean reset. When communications degradation was injected, platoon leaders relied on pre-brief triggers and mission command principles. The drill rewarded units that could act on commanders' intent with minimal adjudication. Estonia's training environment amplified these lessons. Since 2017, the United Kingdom has led NATO's enhanced forward presence battle group at Tapa, with France reinforcing at intervals under mission Lynx. Years of serial rotations, national, multinational, and alliance level, have created a procedural backbone for rapid reinforcement and host nation integration. Movement control, route clearance, medical evacuation corridors, ammunition accounting across mixed fleets, and the mundane paperwork of crossing points have all been iterated to the point of habit. BOLD Panzer did not attempt to invent a new playbook, it aimed to tighten an existing one, proving that familiar drills can be executed at speed with mixed equipment, mixed languages, and mixed tactical cultures. At the tactical level, several themes stood out. First, digital integration is now a combat multiplier only when it is simple enough for junior leaders to apply under pressure. The Griffon's Vitronics mattered because they reduced the time between sensing and tasking, not because they added screens. Second, tracked and wheeled platforms can be made to sing from the same sheet when logistics and battle rhythm are aligned, choreographing warrior sections with Griffon-mounted infantry kept maneuver continuous instead of episodic. Third, lightweight anti-armor teams retain outsized value in complex terrain. NLAW teams, cued by reconnaissance and protected by combined arms movement, repeatedly imposed tactical dilemmas on the opposition, forcing them to trade mobility for protection or vice versa. Operationally, BOLD Panzer's payoff came from validating common C2 procedures from platoon through battlegroup. The exercise demonstrated that reporting formats, fire support requests, and logistic status updates can move through a shared pipeline without translation lag. That, in turn, compresses the window between a threat emerging and a combined response taking shape. The less dramatic but equally important byproduct is confidence. Crews and commanders who have executed the same drills with the same partners find the next alert less daunting. In defensive plans where geography compresses timelines, familiarity is a capability in itself. Strategically, the message is that deterrence on NATO's eastern flank is not episodic or symbolic, it is continuous and scalable. A ready mix of mechanized infantry, dismounted anti-armor teams, and host nation enablers offers immediate denial options while preserving pathways for heavier reinforcement if required. That blend complicates adversary planning. It forces a prospective aggressor to confront a coalition that can absorb a first punch, reconfigure, and respond quickly enough to deny early objectives. The exercise therefore contributes to a layered, credible posture, one that links political commitment to practiced military routines in a region where minutes matter. The day's outcomes were measured in marginal gains rather than spectacle. Cross-servicing drills shaved time from refuel and rearm cycles. Medical evacuation rehearsals standardized casualty reporting and handovers, reducing ambiguity that often costs minutes. ISR feeds were exploited to steer maneuvers and fires, not merely archived for later analysis. Every small improvement narrowed the seam lines inherent in coalition operations. Those seams never disappear, they are managed. BOLD Panzer moved them from the foreground to the background, which is where they belong when a battlegroup is called to move. None of this is an end state. The exercise surfaced tasks for future iterations, improving electromagnetic discipline under pressure, refining counter-UAS layering at platoon and company levels, accelerating digital fires requests across mixed national systems, and expanding cross-decking drills to include recovery operations for immobilized platforms. It also underscored the value of predictable rotations and transparent training objectives, both of which allow partners to arrive prepared to plug into a known framework rather than to invent one on the fly. As Allied formations cycle through the Baltics in late 2025 and into 2026, the most responsible metric will remain unglamorous: how much friction is removed from the next alert. By sunset on October 18, there were no announcements of sweeping transformation, only crews marginally faster, staffs marginally clearer, and a battlegroup marginally more fluent in a shared operational language. In an era when deterrence depends on the ability to deny gains at short notice, those increments compound. BOLD Panzer's value lies precisely in that compounding effect, another day where interoperability moved from aspiration to routine, where joint maneuver, digitized C2, and cross-border sustainment became less theoretical and more instinctive, and where the alliance's northeastern flank looked not just manned, but ready.